Yo, my name is Northern Dice and I'm going to be unboxing, decanting my Kickstarter copies of both Tinderblox and Kittin by Alleycat Games. These were both backed at the exact same time. They both have the unique unique element. They are both in tins and they're both incredibly light games, both in physical weight and the actual amount of time it takes to play, with Tinderblox taking 3 to 15 minutes and this taking once again 3 to 15 minutes. Goodness me, they are incredibly quick, light games. So we're going to kick off with Tinderblox, and we're going to kick off with Tinderblox simply because Tinderblox was the actual reason for the backing on this. I loved the idea and the unique element of the fact that it's a dexterity game, but it's based around building a campfire. And in that sense, you need to use, if they're in there at the top, no, they're there, tweezers. So you use tweezers to build up the little campfire. And inside the box we have some wood, some fire elements, some cards, and some rules. So I'm going to crack open these cards. I like the fact that they are not cellophaned. Oh, there we go. Oh, they're quite nice quality actually. So my understanding is that you would draw a card and build onto the fire, adding whatever you needed to add on. So, for example, here you'd add a red cube and then a yellow cube. But it also dictates which hand you need to use in some instances, I think. That's the base start. Of course, you can go crazy and have this start. That's what the hand symbol's for, with the little arrow on either side. My instant assumption was that says you have to use your right hand, but then they're all right hand. Do they have an alternate side? No, they are all like that. Tinderblox also came in another variant. I chose the nighttime one. It also came in a daytime one. I don't actually think it adds anything. I think it was just more the one of them they weren't going to print for public, and I think I chose the one that was not public choice. Oh, what's that about? I've got different tweezers. I feel ripped off. Been mugged off here. I'm teasing. So you use the tweezers to build the campfire of logs and cubes. If you let any pieces fall off, you eliminate it. Reveal a card. If the card shows the switch hands, so it's a swap hands icon, not a choice of hands icon. And that's basically it, that's the game. So I'll pop those back in. I'll pop these back in, and we'll have a quick look at these cubes. Oh sweet, free silica gel. Just what everybody wants. And you would, like so. Look at this. This is a master at work. A man who has used many a tweezer to pick up many a cube. Very cool, very cool. I do like the unique element of this, that you have to use the tweezers. Reminds you a little bit of Tokyo Highway, with the difference being that Tokyo Highway on this table in particular is a nightmare. The moment you knock it, the entire of Japan has an earthquake and every single car on every single road will fall off. Again, these feel really, really sturdy. I like the finish on them. Oh, it's not as easy as you think actually to pick those up. As light as they are, there is a bit of counterbalancing involved. Pop that there. And it all does fit in. Lid goes on. Might need a bit of feng shui on the inside of that. But I love the fact that it's just a little tin with all that stuff inside. The game, including the card that I haven't included, I'll put those away in a second, is entirely contained within that. And it is one of those that you could just pick up, teach someone in 2 minutes and play in 3, which I really enjoy. Kittin, on the other hand, is another dexterity game, but with a different theme behind it. No longer are you building campfires, you are building stacks of cats. And we have, some Kickstarter exclusives. And a wide multitude of cats in varying shapes and sizes. Very nice. I'm seeing a theme of colours to shapes, which is also very cool because it means that you're not going to be pilfering through the actual stack of cats to try and find certain. It's just either find the colour or find the shape. So for this one, we'll start with the rules. So on this one, I believe it's a race. It's a case of the oldest player flips over and then everybody races to stack the cats. When you think you've built the stack, you have to shout meow, because why not? And everyone else has to stop stacking. And it's played in rounds, and I'd assume that then you would have to take the card to keep it as a track of score. You can play with up to 4 teams of 2 players, and there's a setup there when you do so. So there is a variant to play on this one, which is quite nice actually. A game as light as this, as much as the tin is quite large in comparison to Tinderblox, to have a different variant of play is quite nice. So we'll crack open the Kickstarter exclusivitos. I'm not sure what makes them exclusive, maybe specific variants. Oh, that looks a nightmare. Okay, no, okay. Not one you'd want to pick up. And we'll have a look through the bog standardos. There we go. These look trickier to construct than I initially thought. I thought it'd just be a quick race to slap them on the table, but now that one, that is going to be a recipe for disaster. You get those 2 lined up, put that on top, it all falls over, someone beats you to it. But it's nice. I think it's quite a cute, sweet game. I'm going to combine those, stick those in there. They got a different colour to them slightly. Have they got a different back? But I like how the back is themed around cats, as it should be, but it's not just like the logo, it is different elements of what a cat's life may involve. If we crack open this tin of kits, there we go. They feel really, really well made. Oh, there goes a pink one. And very well designed to just stack. There goes another one. It's on the floor, that one. To just stack within each other. Is it a universal stacking system? Yeah, I think it is. So I then took that and, I don't know, pushed it around. I am now just playing with this. This is now me just enjoying the actual fact I've got this Kickstart. Yeah. Very cool. Incredibly well designed as well. I did follow this one for quite a while, but as always, this is about as half blind as you can get, serving from memory and then having a quick jig through the rules to remind myself, because once a Kickstarter's funded, unless of course they say shipping, I lose all memory. Unless it's been a good long while. Still waiting on one or two. Anyway, first impressions of these. I love the actual theme and presentation. They do not look intimidating. They look really, really friendly, very fun, but also from the outset, maybe not Kittin so much, but just from the actual visual on the tins themselves, you almost get the impression that it is going to be a dexterity game. The back of Kittin, of course, immediately explains it. But these are, I don't know if you can see it, you can see it on this side, are indented as well, which is a really, really extra, a really, really lovely little extra to the actual tins. Completely unnecessary, but for me, it just shows an attention to detail by Alley Cat Games. These, I cannot get over how lovely they are and how well they fit together just on the ones that I picked out. I mean, there's always going to be 1 or 2 quick defunks between a print, and you might get 1 or 2 little chips, but honestly, it looks like it was made to fit perfect. These, it is one of those where it couldn't go wrong. You are going to get some cuboids, some cubes, and you are going to be a draw card and stack them. I think I'm going to prefer this one, because I think there's going to be more comedy to it, because you're not competing, everybody has the same stack and you're going to be running from that same stack. But in that same sense, it is also going to be that frustration if someone places something so obscurely, you're going to then be on the receiving end of a bad play. On the flip side, this one, my hands are massive. I'm going to struggle to pick these up individually, but that's going to make for all the more comedy. I'm really impressed by the finished products of these, and I'm quite excited to get them to the table later. But what's more is I don't think I'm going to struggle to get them to the table, because they're such light, small, quick play games. It'll be a 20-second conversation to explain the concept, 2-minute demonstration, and then we'll all be playing before we play something else. Perfect little fillers in my opinion. But as always, proof's in the pudding, and if I can get a review out on these, I definitely will. Thank you ever so much for sticking around to my decanting of these 2 tinned games. I will catch you next time.